money we make and the cool clothes we get to wear. We do the job because we love the job. We like serving the community. Keep us busy. A 12-hour shift is a long time. And the busier we are, the faster 12 hours goes by. You're helping us. Okay? Plus, you would be amazed at the things you come across from the simple complaints from citizens. Yes, you saw the vehicle drive by a couple of times, and you thought it was a little odd, so you called us. But when we stopped the guy, are they drunk? Are they wanted? Do they have stolen property in the car from another neighborhood that they already hit? All of that simple thing that you call in can lead to lots of other things. I stopped a lady not too long ago with a headlight out on her car. And upon walking up to the car, there was a very, very heavy odor of marijuana coming from the car. So I got her out, called a detective down, searched the car, did find marijuana in the car. But something as simple as just a headlight out led to that whole chain of events that they're now using in order to look for her supplier for that marijuana. So the little things that you see, if it stands out, call us. Don't try to describe it. The psychology of comfort says that you'll see something and you'll go, you know, I know that it's not right, but I don't know why. Of course you don't know why. You're not a police officer. You just know it's not right. Don't try to explain it away. Our minds try to explain away what our bodies are telling us. If your body tells you something is wrong, something is wrong. Okay? Our body has genetic memory. I'm a big proponent of what's termed genetic memory. Okay? It's what I call caveman mentality. Okay? We know, think about a baby. How many of you have children? Okay? When your baby was really small, real small, like only a few days old, did loud sounds startle them? Most babies know. They have no foundation for that fear. And as they get older, they get scared of sounds, they get scared of the dark. It's learned behavior. Your body will tell you things. We teach this when we teach personal safety for women. Okay? Your body will tell you when something's wrong. Our brain doesn't like that. It doesn't like being uncomfortable, so our brain will start to try to explain it away. Oh, they're probably just the cleaning crew. Oh, they're probably just this. Oh, they're probably lost. Oh, all this, all that. And we'll try to make us comfortable again. That's when you need to stop. As soon as your body says, something's not right, that's when you need to pick up the phone. Don't look for an explanation. Say, I don't know why, I've never seen this van before, I've never seen the person driving the van before, they keep going up and down my street real slowly, I don't know if they're lost, I don't know if they're looking for somebody, but it's very suspicious, can you send a deputy out? We do not say no. We don't. I know this from professional experience because I've been to the same house 3 different times in the west end of the county because the elderly lady that lives there insists that Bigfoot is stealing her trash can.
Stealing?
Yep. Because every time we have a really bad thunderstorm, she has 3 big metal trash cans. And she has a long sloping driveway that goes out to the main road. And they blow down the driveway and they disappear. And she'll call and we'll go down, and when we turn into her driveway, there'll be the trash cans. We'll go up and park, come down and get the trash cans and put them back. Okay, I've been there 3 times. I know other deputies have been there lots of times. Okay, she's insistent that it's Bigfoot stealing the trash cans. Why do we always go? Because the one time we go, listen, we've been there 5 million times. There is no Bigfoot. Please stop calling us. She's going to be on CNN the next day with Bigfoot footage in her backyard. We're not going to say no. If you call our dispatch and you request a deputy, you're going to get a deputy.
You might want to buy her some new square trash cans.
It's okay. She's a very nice lady. And we already know, when you get the call for the stolen trash cans and you look at the address, you're like, okay, come on, we're going to go down there. And we do. We want her to be comfortable, so we'll go down, we'll put the trash cans back, we'll walk around the backyard with the flashlights and do our thing. Yeah, make sure there's no footprints that she's going to show up the next day with photographs of. And we'll make her feel comfortable again so that she can go to bed until the next thunderstorm. That's part of our service. It's not always about putting handcuffs on people and making arrests and writing tickets. Sometimes it's just creating that comfortable environment again for a person that believes they've been victimized.
Quick question. I know with some of the stuff that's going on in the economy, there's a lot of homes, I think, that are being sold nowadays that have been in foreclosures or for various reasons are abandoned. Are you finding that some of those homes are being used while they're in that state, or there's certain things to be aware of for the agents maybe that are showing those homes?
The houses are certainly being used. You have squatters that are going into houses now, and even though there's no power, you'll probably see a little bit more of it now that we're coming into the summer. We had a mild winter, so we had some of it going on during the winter, even though they didn't have heat. But now that the weather's turning, you might see a little bit more of that. So if you're going out to take a look at a house that's in foreclosure or to show a house, you might want to be aware of that, just as a safety precaution, because we are seeing that. There's also vandalisms that are taking place where they're going into houses that are empty and vandalizing the properties, and things like that.
And kids.
I was gonna say,
having
and parties from
Yeah,
kids.
party houses.
Because I had a big house, someone's house, kids kept breaking in and partying in the basement.
Well, they figure out that a lot of the banks, when the banks take them over, they don't check on them too much.
They'll come out and mow the grass, maybe.
Maybe.
And other than that, unless the neighbors are paying attention, and that's when we try to engage the neighbors then. They'll listen, this house is right next door to yours, if there's a problem here, it may spill onto your property. If you see any light in this house in the middle of the night, you hear any voices over here, please call us and let us come in and check on it. And, you know, we've run into some problems where the neighbors don't know there's new owners, and they're there for their first visit, they used to be one side, and we show up, we're like, who are you? Well, we just bought the house. Well, can you show me something that shows you just bought the house? And luckily, most of the times they'll have closing paperwork or something like that with them. You know, they just came from closing and they're stopping by the house to take their first look at their new house. And they've got something they can show us that it actually belongs to them.
Then they're feeling great about moving in that neighborhood.
No, it's great. They're like, that's awesome. You know, a lot of people are like, that's awesome. You know, we've been here 5 minutes and immediately the neighbors knew something wasn't right. They called you. I feel really safe now because my neighbors are paying attention to my street.
You know, we have a rental property in the Outer Banks, and we've had a contractor 3 times get stopped by the police there, because in the past, we've had break-ins in the winter, and they're watching.
That's
They like,
awesome.
it's a van from Virginia, we don't know who you are.
Precisely.
3 times he's like, this is the safest place around. And he was like, fine.
That's good buy-in. That's good community buy-in.
He was fine. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He's like, I had nothing to hide. They said, do you have weapons? He's like, a nail gun.
Yeah, that's a standard
You know,
question
nail
for
gun.
us.
Yeah.
Now, we vacation on Chicoutimi Island, and the community that lives on the island during the off-season are very religious about that.
Yeah.
That police department is very integrated in that community, and because there are so many summer houses there, and it's like 60-some% of the community houses are empty during the winter. That's a lot of houses, and the police department is very proactive in going out and checking houses to making sure the doors are still locked, and they do a lot of routine patrolling, checking houses that are known empty houses for the winter time. So it's actually a really good buy-in in that
It's
community.
great.
What are you finding around the malls?
As far as
Crime?
same crime
Anything?
we've always seen. Shoplifting, theft from cars. We haven't had any like robberies or something. We had an altercation between some drivers. You get, anytime the economy affects behavior, you have people are more tense. We have seen more road rage incidents and things like that. I don't know if I can, psychologically, I can attribute that to the economy. So you're seeing more of that, lack of patience with people, but no
Be
sudden
sure, like when we're
influx.
talking about lock your car, lock your house, if you purchase something at the mall and you decide to take it to your car, put it in the trunk.
Trunk.
And move your car.
Don't leave it, I mean, just the
Yeah,
typical
don't
thing.
leave it visible.
I know for a while there were drive-by shootings, it seemed like, in Providence Village and Sterling Park.
Yeah, we had a very isolated time frame where we had 3.
Yeah, but then we got rid of those people.
Yeah, it was all the same group of individuals, and once they were all tied together, they've actually all been prosecuted
Yeah.
already.
Okay. Yeah, because it seemed like it, because I had a listing on one of the streets, and then it was like Providence Village, it just seemed like, oh man, you should have.
Yeah, we had a rash for about 3 weeks, and that was actually 2 summers ago now, where there was just a sudden influx of violent activity, and none of them were random events. It's public knowledge now, they all turned out to be gang member incidents that related over a dope dispute, drug dispute. It wasn't just people riding up to somebody on the corner and going, give me all your money. You know, there was that ongoing dispute between these 2 very small groups of what we call cliques of gang members, and not MS-13 gang members, not Bloods, Crips. They're local little teen gangs, you know, teen, early 20-year-olds that have a collective mentality amongst themselves. So they're this little group, and there's another little rival group that lives on the other end of the park, and you know, they don't like each other. And there's a dope dispute, drug dispute over territory. That's what led to 2 of those shootings. The 3rd shooting was a fight between 2 people with a female of common interest.
Oh, you know, that reminds me. Right after I moved up here from Florida, so this would be like 99, 2000.
From
Remember
Florida?
the murder? Yeah.
She was a vet.
Yeah, had to follow my husband. there was a murder in Countryside, do you remember that? On the bike
Yes.
path, whatever?
Right there on the path.
Right, and I
It was
can't
a-
remember the details about
I
that,
do.
but what was the
It was in my
other?
backyard.
It's a young kid.
It was a
What
young
was
kid
the
driving
kids
the
that were
pizza
They found
delivery,
them.
but it turned out to be a guy from New York
Yeah.
driving by that was visiting some friend, or visiting family members and just shot this kid as he was walking.
So that
But
was
the-
random?
Yes, and the sheriff really did think that, I mean, they were on this,
Found it.
Simpson was, I mean, you guys were on this thing, and he was arrested, I think, in New York when he went
Yeah.
back there. And unfortunately, during their investigation, there was the thought, he was Jim Martin's neighbor. They brought his brother out to the location because they thought that there was some suspicious something, and it just turned out to be a random act of violence. I mean, he literally drove down Countryside that one night, saw this kid coming home.
You've lived here a long time now.
33 years. I know it all.
There was the incident in Rose Island where the kids had crashed a party and there was a shooting.
Yep.
What, I assume there, if the neighbors had been vigilant and seen a whole bunch of cars showing up at the house that they knew.
We were actually en route to the house for the party complaint when the shooting took place.
Oh, so they did complain.
Yeah, what we'd had is, and once again, you know, there's only so many of us, and not to get on the political preaching end of our job, there's only so many of us. And we haven't hired new deputies for 4 years. We've been frozen in our current manpower for 4 years. And we didn't get any new positions this year either. So we're going into our 5th year with not hiring additional manpower. What ended up happening is, obviously a noise complaint for a party is not a high priority. At the same time that complaint came in, a fight complaint came in. The deputies were redirected toward the fight call because there's imminent threat in a fight call. And then we're back en route to the party when the shooting took place. The shooting incident in detail was a spillover incident from a party from another place. These two guys had a beef with each other at another party. They had both been split up. One guy came to this party. The guy then, completely unaware, also shows back up at this party. They get into another argument again, and there's gunfire that goes down. The one guy was from
Don't look at
Great
me.
Falls. I'm trying to remember. He's from Great Falls or McLean. He wasn't even a person from our jurisdiction, and the other
It was
person
Great
was.
Falls.
I want to think it was Great Falls. And the victim in the case was a local kid. So
And the guy just happened to have a gun.
that's not as infrequent as you think it is.
Did he have license to carry one or no?
No. Oh, pure criminals. License in the area, God. Yes, ma'am.
It's disturbing.
The other hot topic is drugs in schools.
Sure.
What is that again? Sorry guys, 6'4", 6'5", 6'6".
I think that's everywhere, so.
You're gonna find drug
7'6",
activity
7'5".
everywhere you go.
But, right, I understand that there's no place is immune to that type of activity. The question is, because there was a conversation amongst some parents, I don't know if you've seen about Parents for Change, which is the new group that started up over at Sterling Middle. They brought up that they were questioning whether or not, how about drug incidences in the schools, and then also is it going on the school bus or?
Did they say no?
One parent brought up that it's not in the school, but the kids at the school bus stop.
Perfect. Is that recording?
Is
it?
But yes,
Oh, never mind.
again,
You better be careful, you're gonna get in trouble.
but again, this is why I'm asking the question, fact or fiction, because that's what's actually being.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you, just, and to break off, you're looking at different areas and different schools. They're all really the same in this county. Don't look at Sterling and say, Sterling area has this problem is in Ashburn, this problem is South Riding. I have SROs telling me they're bringing vodka into schools and putting it in their water bottles. There's cocaine incidents in schools. But what I've noticed is a lot of the incidents that the school catches, they will not tell us about.
The school is
See,
not
I'm gonna-
required to
see,
tell you?
I was gonna ask
They are
that next
required,
question.
but a lot of them will,
They don't wanna have that in their school.
I didn't say
They
that.
don't want it.
I didn't say
They
that.
don't want it. They don't want it
It's a
public.
stat, yeah, it's a
Correct.
stats type of thing with schools. Now, I'm not saying every school does this, but I have noticed in some schools that a lot of it will not be, if they catch something, it is not told to the SRO. And the SRO actually will find out